Part 3. The Enemy Within. Along the border of 3 kingdoms, there was a haunted forest that was widely accepted to be in the Kingdom of Heart and Sword. The haunted forest also touched the Garodassian Kingdom to the east, and the Kingdom of Fortadia to the south. It was a dark and mysterious place, the haunted forest, filled with dangerous creatures and thick, twisted trees that gnarled their roots out of the ground in knots that created a natural maze, which could confound hardy adventurers one day, and yet mysteriously allowed children to play without fear the next. It was nearly spring, and Prince Jale was out for a walk, following the trail on the edge of the haunted forest, when he heard the screams of a dozen elves coming from deep within. Bravely he rushed to aid the cries for help. In a clearing, the snow was stained with blood. A tall, bare pelt-covered man was using what could only be magic to steal the life force of 12 captured elves. Without hesitation, Prince Jale threw his great axe at what turned out to be the evil mage that had cursed him. There was a bright flash as it struck an invisible barrier and broke the evil mage's spell on the elves. 2 of the elves were already dead at that point, but the other 10 used the opportunity to flee into the forest. The evil mage did not try to stop them. What dark experiments he had planned for the elves required magical blood, and only then, recognizing Prince Jale, he made the realization that his original alchemical formula was flawed. Much more was possible with this prince's blood, flesh, and bone. I suspect that the prince had a particular magical aura sometimes found in half-breeds. As I mentioned in my introduction, I have both elven and dwarven heritage, but you wouldn't necessarily be able to spot that as the reason for my appearance. If Prince Jale was secretly a half-breed, and maybe he didn't even know himself, the alchemical power would then explain why the evil mage feverishly foamed at the mouth in anticipation for their combat. So instead of chasing the elves, the evil mage turned to Prince Jale and fired wave after wave of dark green lightning. The energy was a whiz of chaos in the air that then honed in on Prince Jale mercilessly. Prince Jale summoned all of his force to resist the magical pummeling, but by the time he was in arm's reach, he only got in a few fierce punches into the evil mage's equally muscular body before falling to the ground and losing consciousness. The evil mage took Prince Jale to his lair deep in the haunted forest. His new plan? To create an elixir of immortality using the young prince's life as catalyst. With Prince Jale trapped in an arcane prison, the evil mage worked day and night preparing the initial elixir mixtures. Meanwhile, the elves Prince Jale had saved returned to the queen and told her of the prince and the evil mage. During the days that passed, search parties looked for the evil mage's lair while the evil mage got closer and closer to completing his concoction. Then, when the elixir required its final ingredient, the prince's blood, the evil mage cut Jale's chest and filled a beaker with 1 pint. In his haste, the evil mage forgot to lock Prince Jale back into the arcane prison. So as the elixir finally completed, a fatigued and wounded Prince Jale crept up behind the evil mage and strangled the captor with his own enchanted alchemy medallion of +5. The evil mage tried in vain to drink the elixir, but instead spilled it on the floor as he perished. With the evil mage lying lifeless, the prince knew at last that he could escape. Before he climbed the secret stairs of the evil mage's lair, however, he grabbed some cloth to dress his wound and took a hefty swig from a cask of wine. Jale noticed, if only briefly, that the wine was a superior vintage from the LeBlanc House vineyards of Fortadia. This herbaceous blueberry wine with hints of juniper and spruce is perfectly suited for the discerning palate that seeks a well-balanced, harmonious blend with a pleasing finish. A unique climate allows optimized aromas only generations of winemaking experience can recognize and produce. Aged in the finest tetrahedron-shaped casks, crafted only by the Famino band of merry dwarven clans on the Fortradia hillside. The unmistakably full flavor has been nurtured by the pure rainfall of clouds formed by the breezes of two oceans. Reaching the surface refreshed, Prince Jale miraculously fell into the company of a search party. They escorted Prince Jale back to his castle to recover and feast. Prince Jale spoke of his ordeal with the evil mage, and as he did, he realized that the evil mage's alchemy medallion of +5 was still in his hand. Holding the medallion, Prince Jale thought about how he had always assumed magic was real. He wondered if the evil mage was unique in some way, or if anyone could learn these secrets. Then, for the moment, Prince Jale decided that, in the end, he had nothing to lose to a little curiosity in an old legend. It was summer by the time Prince Jale had fully recovered. The story of his duel with a mage spread, but was dismissed by many for all the errors in logic and continuity. The only certainty was that many elves traveled to the kingdom of Heart and Sword, pledging loyalty to Jale and praising his selfless heroics. Not long after that, Jale was crowned and would forever be known as the Good King. Well, almost forever.